What's up, everybody? So this is going to be a video taking you through almost the entire week's worth of practice and training leading up to my first games in the Northeast, and that was no fame games outside of Boston. And that throw pretty much dictates how these throws all went. So had my dad out there shagging, had my brother with an eye on him, and I hadn't been throwing weights practice. I'm not wanting to ingrain bad habits, and well, I almost feel like I have to because things are just not going very well, and these throws are all slow, and this one got a little bit faster, but there's no left leg drive to the trig. I cannot figure out how, with my quad not firing right, to get to the front properly for how I throw. So this day I tried this one. I tried staying super low the whole time, and like my legs got all wonky and crooked. I tried completely changing my start positioning. You see I'm not getting around, which I noticed that this is obviously a couple weeks old, and I noticed it in a different day of throwing some stuff, and that is I can't get around because I'm not really driving off the left. So here you see like I completely changed that start, trying to just over exaggerate using the left side, and I've never done this before, so I'm obviously not getting all the way around. And yeah, there he goes. That's how this throw started. Throw one just into the dirt. I'm not getting all the way around. It's not what I'm used to. So it was, hey, can we try something that actually worked better? And, there you saw me kind of like shrug it off a little bit. So here we decided to not cheat around as much. I was just trying to see what I could get to work. Not happy with it. It was all over the place. And like I said, I'm beating a dead horse if you've watched the last couple of these videos. So move on to some training. This is actually a little more exciting. So doing some drops here, using just a box, nothing super high, just trying to absorb landing. This obviously is my right leg right now, absorbing into, just trying to land and be rigid and be able to absorb that force. And then we go to the left leg, and it seems to do okay. I can definitely personally feel a difference, and it's definitely more unstable. It's obviously not there, but this is a pretty simple variation that I mixed in the start of this workout here once we moved into the gym from the throws. I'm trying to get some balance and symmetry and things feeling like they're supposed to be working right. And there comes the dog squeaking a toy again, always in the background of my videos. So here I changed up. I've been using the Omega attachment you see there at the base of the Landmine, that half moon handle. I changed it up and went with my straight handle today on some Landmine rotations, not allowing my feet to really move and just rotating a little bit quicker. Started at 5 kilo plate on there and just added 5 kilos each set. So like 4 sets up to 20 kilos. Trying to rotate a little bit quicker, staying engaged. In my head, it was like, let's see if I can work the torso like a hammer in terms of speed of contraction a little bit more. And then just threw in some iso lunge holds here, kind of trying to really feel, as you see, kind of my head's down, shifted forward, holding the weight in my front leg, and I'm holding that Landmine just barely off the ground, obviously in the left hand there, but just trying to load the front leg, kind of feel the weight more in the front leg that you kind of see as I kind of lean into the front leg, and just holding there. Obviously it relates to the quad, trying to do different things, doing isometrics, doing, we showed you the drops before this and whatnot. And so here kind of playing with the body weight, you can kind of see how I leaned upright and leaned forward and just putting the pressure into the front leg. And now we have something I just randomly thought about trying to do differently, that I'm feeling a little weakness in the hip flexor on the same bad leg side, this left leg side. So this is the left leg. If you look at the lat pull down there, there's barely any weight on there. I think it's 30 pounds. I've messed around with 40, 30, and 20 pounds in some sets. Just trying to pull that knee as high as I could without being aggressive, kind of making it a nice smooth contraction. This is nothing exciting, but just something different. You can probably implement this with a band or any other sort of cable unit. Something I'll probably mix in from time to time a little bit more. I'm interested to see how actually training my hip flexors a little bit more directly will improve things. Then we rolled into some high step ups. As you see the weights there, my brother was using those. I was trying to do these. Obviously the back leg stays off the box completely, so this is obviously my better leg, the right leg, leaning into it first to try to load the leg that's on the box so you're not getting a lot of push off the foot on the ground. And obviously leaving the off trailing leg completely off the Vox forces you to extend all the way through the step up. I've done these at various different heights. I've been playing with actually a lot of short range of motion ones, but it was good to mix up and try some long range of motion. You see that first rep, I really push off that right leg off the ground. I'm trying to load the left. You lean into it, but you can see this one I'm definitely pushing more with the right than I did with the other leg here. When my left was the trail leg, I was not pushing as much. And these step ups were paired with some push press, 70 to 100 kilos for like a 4x5. Nothing super exciting, just kind of getting it in. Hadn't done it in quite some time, so not trying to over push it, but just feel like trying to move a barbell a little fast. Now, I think that was a Monday, and this is the next day, a Tuesday. Got out and decided to just go with the MSA on the shot put throws, and these went relatively well for what I'd expect. I've been going back and forth between the MSA as well as the full spin. Still, if you watch these close enough, the left leg plants, and here I threw some shoes up to kind of give me a barrier here. These went pretty well and showed when it came to the games the following weekend, but and here I actually did throw some fulls afterwards. And it's not all sunshines and roses, but if you watch close enough, you can see that the left leg, like the extension timing, how to plant the leg down, it just doesn't stomp down fast like I could used to. I've always had a problem with it, but now it's like I just can't feel it almost to actively drive it down. And I cue it in my head constantly, left leg or stomp, 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 just as that cue for me to get my left down at the front. The whole tight knees cue never really works for me in the rotation, so tried different things there. And then after that, I was like, those weren't going great. Went back to a couple MSAs and really got after them. And then I got a nosebleed and pulled on some sheath before I went inside. Actually, after sheath, I went and ran and strained a hamstring a little bit. I think it might have just been a cramp, not really full strain. And once again, videos are out of order. I think this thing sucks at uploading sometimes. And even these squats are out of order. So we had a broken J-cup, so sorry that these are all out of order and who knows what the hell is going on here. But long story short, broken J-cup, so I was like, well, what can I do squat-wise? And I'm like, well, it's going to have to be like a pin squat. Yes, damn it, they're all out of order. But did the pin front squat this day, and just kind of a top-end range of motion, just trying to load the quad, right? That's been kind of my message. I worked up and then did some down sets, and that's why you're seeing 365 in there multiple times. I think we worked up to 405. And paired all the squats. Actually, I paired the deadlifts with, not the deadlifts, these, boom, high pulls. High pulls were not paired with. Squats were paired with those dumbbell jumps, and if you notice, I was touching the ground with them. Then I worked up some hang high pulls. I'm trying to remember, sorry, it's been like 2 weeks ago. Hang high pulls, snatch grip high pulls. Nothing too crazy, not anything heavy or fast. Obviously, I threw this week. But this is what's heavy. I have been working on loading the core work I've done a lot heavier than normal. So this was probably my top end day. I think I hit 3 sets of 10 or 3 sets of 10, not 4, with a 45-pound plate on the ab wheel kneeling. So now I'm dabbling with getting back on my feet with the ab wheel. So 3 by 10 to 12, actually, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of been nice to see that come up. And now we get into a hammer throw day. Oh, man. Once again, I'm just having to work through what's going on with my body. And I think I'm finally, after No Fame Games, kind of convinced myself that I'm going to have to get back to practicing more and just suck it up, because I'm starting to think to become detrained with how well things were going back in March, February. Now I'm getting to that point where detraining's starting to happen, and it's like I'm just not able to fire. Now, and that's where I'm obviously shaking my head with a lot of these on these hammer throws. So went out, and I showed you at the very beginning some just winds just to loosen up, and then we went to regular 3 winds with a light hammer, and this was an absolute horrible day. My best was, I think, 102 feet with a light hammer, which I've thrown the heavy hammer further than that. I'm watching these videos, and it's like, yeah, it's slow as Christmas. But once again, if you watch technically wise, the technical part is not too bad. Now the finish is off, and I think part of my push is off because of the left leg weakness. There's a timing thing, like where my body is searching for tension. I'm tending to pull too early with my finish. So take that with a grain of salt if you are watching this trying to learn some technical stuff. You know, maybe go look at older videos or look at some people throwing bombs right now and watch their technical side of things. I hope you're just getting this for entertainment. But I finished out this week with some hammer throws. This was on a Wednesday, and I don't think there was anything else in this video. If there is, we'll get to it here. I'm obviously doing the voiceover, but if not, I hope you guys enjoy the footage. That is the end of it. Take care.